My name's Ian Thompson. I'm the Commercial Director at 3DEO. I've got 15 years experience of selling SaaS products into various industries around the world, including construction and infrastructure, haulage and logistics, manufacturing and oil and gas. So very, very varied. So at Active Maps, we combine mapping and 3D visualization of both the environment and the data. We provide a single window on asset, environmental and operational data, integration with systems, sensors and IoT devices. Historic, live data and change over time can be displayed and viewed quite easily in our system. Data, information, assets, site, all visualized in context and in 3D in a browser, so it's accessible everywhere. So getting started with GIS. This afternoon, we are going to discuss data implementation, visualization, and then finally dashboards. So when we talk about data, I like to think of data living in two separate pots. We've got static data and we've got dynamic data, which we'll come to in a moment or two. Static data to us incorporates things like maps and plans, records and schedules, buildings, installations, networks. So that could be fiber optic, it could be water, and things like fixed assets. So in the case of ports, it might be something like a bollard. Dynamic data tends to be a little bit more interactive. It might move, for example. Dynamic data can be moving assets. So that could be a truck, an aeroplane, a boat, doesn't matter as long as it moves. Meters, sensors, cameras, IoT, and machine learning cameras and things like that. So when we start an implementation project with a customer, we always like to discuss what type of data they want to visualize. And this is a great example of static data. So this was some census data, some demographic data of a local authority. We were able to import it into our system and they were able to display it in various different ways, comparing one data set against another. And that's what those colors and heights of those bars represent. Obviously red being bad, green being good. And as they change the parameters and change the sets being compared, those shapes, those polygons, they grow and they shrink and they change color as the data improves or gets worse. This is another great example of static data. This is a water network within a local authority. And it shows all the network points around the authority. The data doesn't change very often, which is why it's static. It was uploaded once, likely via a spreadsheet with coordinates on it. And we are able to display that as a map layer for somebody to view as and when they see fit. Again, if you're working in a port or a harbour, you're looking at not only what's going on landside, but you're also looking at what's going on under the water as well. And when you're having those surveys done, I don't know how often you have them done. Every port will be different. Some will have them done every few months. Some smaller ports maybe once a year. Once that survey has been done, you want a platform where you can upload that system and you're able to visualize the data in there. Now, the beauty of a system like Active Maps is once you've done a number of surveys, so we've done the first one, it could be the second, third, fourth, fifth, you're able to compare over time so you can see change. And we'll give you a little sliding bar where you're able to make the colours change, where you can show where decreasing draft is maybe turning red and increasing draft turning green. In the platform, we're able to combine different data sets. So here's a good example of where we've combined single and multi-beam survey data to give you a cross-section of what is on the riverbed. Now, this is a display of data that I really like. That I think it does a number of different things. So this is based for this one of our customers who wanted to display a number of different things. Over here, we can see cameras and their field of vision, which is the purple polygon. You can see another one back there. Here they've chosen to display some data in a 3D bar chart, which I don't know what the data signifies here. Maybe people walking past a camera. It could just be general total footfall across the site over a period of time. But we can see here how it's very, very easily visualized and displayed. What they've also done is they've used Meraki access points, and here they are monitoring where people walk across the estate, and where it turns red, you can see that's where most people are gathering, and as people start to disperse, you can see the colours get a little bit lighter. So lots of clever ways there of visualizing the data. If we come back to those cameras for a moment, this is almost a data set within a data set. We've got the cameras again. You can see the purple polygon where you can see the field of vision for that camera. And within that field of vision, you've got a number of different shapes. And this is a machine learning camera where the camera's been taught what is a person, what is a vehicle, and what is a pedestrian. And it counts them as they go past. And we visualize in 3D that data in locational context on the map. We also bring through that live camera feed as well. So you're able to see everything in one screen very, very simply. And finally here, we've got a data series over time. So where we've taken an air quality sensor in the system, like the cameras, it's possible to view that data live, but also we're able to call for a historical period of time to view that data as well. And here you can see plotted on a graph, the telemetry streams that have been selected by the user, all plotted, so you can see what's been happening over a period of time in that area. So you can see lots of different ways to present data in a visual format, and that's what we do here at 3DO. We give you the platform to plot things like your sensors, your cameras, your buildings, anything that's counting, things like that, and we're able to visualize them in a single place and give you access to that data in its locational context. If we were to simplify that, we would describe ourselves as, or our product as, the ability to integrate all of your separate systems, sensors and devices, give you a tool to visualize them on a map, analyze the data coming from them, whether that data is live or whether that data is historical, so time series data, and then communicate that with various stakeholders. If I open up a secondary window here, this is a good example of another way to communicate and visualize data. This is another one of our customers, and they've mapped all the lakes in the UK. If I just zoom in a little bit, I should be able to click on one of them. And what this will do, this will bring up the data about that lake. Here we can see a bar chart that displays the data about the chlorophyll in the lake. Click on the satellite chlorophyll box. We're able to view the data from the satellite flyover about the chlorophyll. Now, obviously, on a cloudy day, which there are many in the UK, we don't always capture that data. But there's an example of where we've captured flyover data, showing where the chlorophyll is, and again, the change over time displayed here. So that's it for today. Hopefully I've shown you a little bit about the capabilities of your data, the types of data you have, whether it's static or dynamic, and the different ways we can visualize it in the system. Obviously, it's not limited to. There were just some highlights I thought I'd show you today.